This podcast contains strong language, sexual themes, and explicit content. The following opinions are meant as comedy, dark, horrible comedy, and are intended for a mature audience. If you are easily offended, listening to this podcast could cause anger, spasms, herpes, stroke, an uncontrollable sense of self-righteousness, and angry grammar-fucked emails. Welcome to SchlockTalk.
Gobble, gobble, motherfucker!
They're eating her! And then they're going to eat me! Oh my god!
Estrogen levels peaking. It's like she's in heat.
When are you gonna grow up? Chicks love cars. If you want to get into their pants, you better have a nice car.
She's my hot rod. Besides, I love my Mustang, which is a plug-in hybrid. It gets 100 mph.
Oh, no, not the beast! Not the beast! Ah!
Hello, and welcome to episode 5 of the SchlockTalk podcast. Braving the new Ice Age to talk about crappy movies since 2013.
They're making another Ice Age movie?
Let's schlock it.
Yes.
I love John Leguizamo. It can't fail. That movie will not fail.
I'm Gabe.
I'm Craig.
I'm Joel.
I'm drunk.
I'm Alan.
He's high.
I am not a little.
Tonight's movie is Never Too Young to Die, directed by Gil Bettman. And I'll start with the official movie intro.
There was actually a director for that?
There was a director.
And he wanted to be credited?
It's a synonym.
That'd be
No way it's his real name.
You'd think all the actual data for this would be redacted heavier than something released by the government.
To a little letter to our audiences, maybe we'll have like a little competition or something. If anyone can find us an actual script for this fucking movie, we will make it worth your while.
Never Too Young to Die seems like a movie that has left no legacy. It's never been distributed on DVD or Blu-ray, and was last released on VHS in 1986, and Laserdisc the following year in 1987.
What an investment that would have made.
But only in Japan, right?
And that was only in Japan. Given that there's not a single incidence of panty-sniffing, tentacle sodomy, or honor-related self-mutilation in Never Too Young to Die, that may be the most amazing fact about the film. Keeping in mind that this is a movie with a high school trampoline gymnast secret agent and one of Prince's ex-girlfriends fighting a hermaphrodite played by Kiss's Gene Simmons. But I think there is a clear and lasting birthright that the film has left for the entire Earth. It is clear and apparent that the hole in the ozone layer is the direct result of all the hairspray used in the making of Never Too Young to Die. And while at first this may feel like an overall deficit, it is not, because it's a little-known fact that the ozone filters out almost all the much-needed but lesser heralded vitamins R, L, and Q. The nutrients humans need in order to better do amazing things like listen to Rick Springfield, wear French-cut bathing suits, get the high score on Gorf, drive around in their IROC, or pick up chicks outside the Chess King down at the mall.
What if I want to watch Dwarf? The Tim Conway golf video.
No relation, Paul. Even more so, Never Too Young to Die's contribution to the environmental apocalypse is at least even more slightly tempered by the fact that it has created amazing new mutations that benefit mankind. If you look closely at certain backlit shots of the female lead in this film, you can see she has light blonde hairs on her arms, legs, and supple, dewy torso. And that these cilia...
What, was it all filmed in the early morning?
And that these cilia secrete a golden manna-like substance that can be used to nurse small wounded birds and other forest creatures back to health.
She's a princess from a fucking Disney film now?
Making her the most ravishing woman possibly in cinema history. And if you are so inclined, you might think that Vanity looks pretty good, too. So first of all, this movie is produced by Paul Entertainment, and I, for one, would like to thank you personally, Paul.
Great. Now I'm going to have to change my name. I don't want to be associated with this.
So the movie opens with a mutant punk rock biker gang led by Gene Simmons. I'm not sure anything else needs to be said about this awesome radness of this movie. So that concludes this episode of Schlock Talk right there.
Good night, everybody.
In all seriousness, Gene calls all of the minions that he has, he calls them turd balls, scum buckets.
Yeah.
Anybody else?
So wait.
Time.
Gene Simmons, he was told he was going to be
Tampon
wearing makeup
purses.
and high heels, so he just assumed that they were filming a sequel to Kiss Meets the Phantom of the Park. Sorry, Gene. And then they informed him that he would be playing the role of a transvestite. Then he thought, well, at least they didn't typecast me as a terrorist. Yeah. Sorry again, Gene.
You know, it's funny because I think like maybe the director was sitting around and he watched Rocky Horror Picture Show on coke, not acid or anything like that, coke, and he's like, you know what it needs more of? Mad fucking Max. Yes. If Dr. Frankfurter from Rocky Horror Picture Show was associated with fucking renegade bikers of the wasteland and rock and roll, that's what fucking will put asses in seats.
Yeah, I mean, he looks like a rejected contestant from RuPaul's Drag Race.
So we find out that Gene's name is Ragnar, and he has plans to irradiate the LA water supply.
Yeah, that's a very, very gender-neutral name.
Yeah.
Because, you know, Nar, I don't know what that is.
It's Ragnar.
Ragnar sounds manly, but rag is in the name.
So his plan to kill everybody in Los Angeles is the program is on a floppy disk, which has been stolen, and he can't follow through with his plan because computers.
Wait.
Yes.
Okay, so seriously, in real life, Gene Simmons is a pretty intimidating guy. I mean, if you were walking down the street past him, you would avoid eye contact, at least I would. Because you would be afraid that he'd, like, try to force his autograph on you or something.
All right, I'll give you my autograph. Whoa, dude.
Okay, so all joking aside, I mean, the man is tall and scary looking with a deep masculine voice. So whose idea was it to put him in a dress and have him speak like he's channeling the Wicked Witch of the West?
Probably his own. That would be like,
I think Richard Simmons in sweatpants would have been a better villain.
Not only that, but the
Listen up, turd balls. Let's get those butter off those buns.
the first killing
Sweating
scene,
to the turd balls.
the first killing scene, Gene Simmons kills this woman by what I think is a mouth queef.
Okay. They all shout, the finger, the finger. That scene has given me nightmares for the past week because I keep dreaming about being fingered by Gene Simmons.
His cocaine fingernail. It's pretty awesome.
Oddly enough, it's also a wet dream.
Dude, one taste of that freaking fingernail and colors will never be the same again.
So
They'll be brighter.
they capture
just the right way.
they've captured one of their own people who's a spy for Stargrove, right?
Yeah, Stargrove. That's the name.
Silver earrings said.
Yeah. And so he rips open this biker babe's bodice with his cocaine finger, and then he kills her, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, he fingers her, and that experience from Gene Simmons, which, as Paula said, is both erotic and deadly.
I think just a touch from Gene Simmons will kill you.
There's so many STDs involved in that. Jesus Christ.
So we then meet Lance. We switch to the credit sequence and learn that John Stamos is a trampoline gymnast because rhythmic gymnastics, even in the 80s, were not for men. Or whatever it is that Lance is.
Okay, why was I not surprised to see John Stamos introduced with a gymnastics scene?
It's just so fitting.
He
It's
has
just
the
like
name Lance. How can you combine something so gay?
Like,
Okay.
it's like you think, what if he has like a SEAL team or whatever, and he just gets out of the water, he just fucking stabs a terrorist in his throat, and just disappears in the darkness. Is that how he's introduced? Is he freaking like beating bikers to death in a bar with glass that's permanently embedded in his knuckles? No, nothing badass. It's like, Something pretty. Something fancy.
Yeah, they couldn't rent the ice skating rink that weekend, so they went with gymnastics.
Because what makes a more powerful intro than somebody climbing a rope really fast?
So Lance is apparently powered by the homoerotic power of glistening girlish biceps and feathered hair.
Beautiful feathered hair.
And the gymnastics coach keeps telling him to keep it tight. And I, for one, completely agree.
All right, let's
Was
talk
he
about
talking about his performance on the trampoline or in the bedroom?
Let's talk about the title song that's playing
Yes.
this time.
Go for it.
Star Grove, flying like you've never flown.
Oh my God, Paul! Even you don't do that one justice.
I seriously...
You can't do that justice.
We do have the song here, so we're going to play that for you now.
Get me Star Grove! Star Grove!
Oh yeah, I feel it.
Okay, Star Grove, let's see that new routine. Come on. Roll it now. Roll it.
Just hearing that.
The hairs on my back are standing up.
Are you feeling like breaking
Some
out?
height, Star Grove. All right, try it again.
Looking for danger.
Roll it.
Feeling adventurous, then you must put your trust not in a stranger. Playing your own game. Do it your own way. Keeping your own sound that you found going down. Playing like you play. Who knows what you'll find? You may like it or not. But all that you find, boy, is all that you got.
Yeah. Running through the danger zone. More like running to the toilet.
So we find out that John Stamos has a nerdy Asian roommate who apparently has invented texting in 1986. And are these...
Wait. The Asian Scott Baio that climbs through the window?
Yes.
So you were forgetting that scene where the wrestler is in the singlet, the two butt buddy wrestlers in the singlets. We're trying to intimidate Stargrove as he was walking into the locker room to go, I don't know, blow some guys, right? Seriously. It's like I didn't see any spots in there where like there were wrestlers like in the same gym as the gymnasts were swinging around and jumping on trampolines and balance beams or whatever they do, right?
They were just waiting for him.
They were just chilling there.
No, they were actually wrestling in the background of one of the scenes. You could see it on the mat in the
Holy
middle of
crap.
the floor. There were just two guys in the middle of the gymnasium having some kind of intercourse-related wrestling match, glistening with almost as much oil as John Stamos.
But it's funny, you're wrestling with this other guy, you're trying to become a better wrestler. How do you freaking have so much free time that you're just looking at John Stamos freaking trouncing around like a little fairy on the trampoline? You gotta go, let's go confront this guy. He thinks he's so much better than us.
Not only that, but the stupid shit he does to get by them.
Yes.
It's what your 90-year-old uncle would do.
Yeah, it's some kindergarten shit. It's like he tickles his stomach, and when he looks down, he bops him in the nose, and then he twerkle dances around him like a little bitch.
Twerkle dances.
Seriously, when they were doing,
And then he's like, ha! Oh, I swear to punch him in the face.
seriously, when the people that were producing Full House were fucking done doing coke for the evening, they were like, "Whoa, that's what kids want to see."
So as you can hear, this movie got all the guys here pretty excited. And so are these guys...
I want to go back to the guy climbing through the window.
Yeah, that's right.
The Asian Scott Baio. I'm guessing that the actor who played Short Round and Data from the Goonies wasn't available.
He was too cool for this role.
Yeah, I agree. And so are they college students or high school students?
I think they're college.
I think they're college because they dress a little too professionally for high school.
And last time I saw, they had like a dorm room, and I don't think high schoolers have dorm rooms.
So the
Don't
fact
you
is
think
just-
that was more of like a special education sort of thing?
I remember John Stamos looking at his watch and it reading 3 + 5 = 1.
Yeah, that's right.
So
Yeah,
it
like from
can't
one
be
of those-
that advanced.
From one of those shitty Seiko watches from like the 90s. Oh, it was terrible.
Yeah, there was actually a lot of references to shitty digital watches in this movie. I seem to recall a lot of looking at digital watches.
And his friend has got like a digital phone A touch-tone phone with just the cover removed.
That's high tech, man.
And also, is this an all-male school? And if so, why is John Stamos here? So during the first dorm room scene where he's talking with his Asian roommate, it looks like Lance is wearing leg warmers, which I chalked up to be an obvious symptom of having an absent father.
If your name is Lance Stargrove, you can get away with this kind of shit.
Yeah, I think you can pull off leg warmers. And so in the next one, we find out that his dad is doing secret agent stuff, and his dad is played by George Lazenby, the James Bond.
Wait. We've got to go back to the dorm room.
Yeah,
Okay,
you're skipping
sorry.
way too far ahead, man.
They're talking about the parents visiting.
Yeah.
And Agent Scott Baio, his parents are coming, and the dean walks in.
Yeah,
Just walks
into the room like he's a fucking roommate.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
How's it going, guys?
What's up?
Can I get a beer?
Cool.
And the guy makes a racist joke about his own parents. He does. He's like, they're gourmets. They really love the dog stew you serve.
Chili dog stew.
I'm surprised they didn't follow it up with, but they were really hoping for cat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the
And
other
then, he
portion-
fucking, just, has shell shock and jumps under the bed and starts freaking crying like a baby.
The other portion of this we forget is the fact that Asian roommate guy is also he's auditioning for the Q division from James Bond. He's got fucking chewing gum with a tracking device in the middle of it.
Yeah, there's so many scenes. We'll get to that later.
Okay.
So many scenes with
So
the
you
chewing
chew
GPS.
the gum with the device in
Yes,
it.
that's the genius behind this.
And it's not like the device is in cap. It looks like a tiny little chip, like a board. It's not in a pill or anything. It's just a piece of
It's like a fucking
circuit board.
eraser gum or something. I don't
You
know.
won't break it when you're chewing.
So do you guys feel the dorm room scene has been adequately addressed?
I think so. Was he talking about how he's always trying to get the flamethrower to work or something like that?
He does. So in the next scene,
The Stargrove shooter.
we find out that his dad is a secret agent, and his dad is played by George Lazenby, the James Bond who was so bad they replaced him with Roger Moore.
Whoa!
That's harsh, man. That's harsh.
That's from insulting the wound.
Did the jumpsuits they were wearing make them look more like developmentally delayed Ghostbusters?
Which one? I mean, because you had the old James Bond, and then you had it was Chuck Norris and Bill Murray.
Right.
Yeah.
Wait. Are you talking about Ginger Wig?
Yeah.
Ginger G.
No,
That
it was
my
freaking
You can
Chuck
figure that out
Norris,
by this
fucking
you're a
Chuck
retard.
Norris and Randy Quaid. This is what this fucker looked like. They both somehow had an unnatural freaking child together.
Either that or Ron
And
Weasley
so we
had
were
a
calling
really hard life.
calling him Chuck Quaid or Randy Norris. We just kept switching between the two of them.
And that we figured that the average age of this group of elite force was at least 60.
Yes.
But they were walking
experience on
around,
the side.
and they were either dressed as two things. Either they were LARPing Ghostbusters, and I didn't think you could LARP Ghostbusters.
Well, they didn't have the proton packs.
That, or, they just walked off the freaking scene of Galaxy of Terror. All they were missing was the gigantic freaking car headlight backpacks and the dick maggot.
I thought it looked like Luke Skywalker in his special needs Bespin fatigues.
Joel, to be fair, Dick Maggot, there was John Stamos.
Yes. So they're going to try and blow up a wall. Unfortunately, apparently they decided to buy their C4 at the dollar store.
Yeah.
Yeah, seriously. Fucking C4 that fucking fit like the palm of your hand or whatever.
And it falls off the wall, and he has to rush back in and stick it back on the wall to so they can complete their mission.
So much
That's
fucking
because
tension
George
in that scene.
Lazenby, he's like, I didn't get this hip replacement for nothing.
Yes.
Watch
Both
me,
out
I can
there,
run.
the
watch me
steam
sprint
slugs.
like a 50-year-old. I feel invincible.
So we talked a little bit before about George Lazenby's one of his secret agent friends is like Leprechaun Caveman.
Chuck Randy.
Ron
and
Weasley
Chuck
gone
Quaid.
bad.
We find out he's a traitor, and his name is Carruthers, right?
Yes.
And so Carruthers is a traitor, and George Lazenby and Bill Murray, right?
Yeah.
Get attacked by subterranean biker punks, And George says, I think we're having a disco nightmare.
Yes.
Yes, I remember that.
Hey, that's the name of my new death metal Bee Gees cover band.
Fans, please try to make that a popular phrase. Fight hard. I want to have some dumbass celebrity using that.
And then they start juxtaposing scenes between the gymnastics that Lance is doing and his dad, and so we learn that Lance and George are psychically connected.
I just love the fact that the music was like pumping all this tension out and everything. You had this big chase scene, and then you had some gay twirly motherfucker running around.
Okay,
Like, what the
I
hell?
can really feel the
montage
connection there.
of the father taping up his leg wound, and Stamos taping up his wrist.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
He was taping up his leg wound with like an extra large maxi pad.
Yeah.
Did it have wings?
He does absorb
It
blood
had
rather
wings
well.
upon wings. That was like a maxi pad for a giant woman.
Yeah, it made me want to tape my eyes shut.
So Ragnar and his gang, they capture George Lazenby. And I just want to say that Ragnar's gang looks like the people running with Humongous from the Road Warrior mixed with Prince and the Revolution. Ragnar.
Post-apocalyptic fabulous.
Yes. That is awesome, Craig. Ragnar tells his goons to frisk Daddy Stargrove, and he tells them to up and down him.
Yeah, that's right. Why didn't they all just look at him with a
You skipped
confused
the bulletproof
stare?
umbrella.
Oh, I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
we're getting back
Yeah.
to that too.
Holy shit.
In a freaking, like, James Bond, Mary Poppins way, they pull out fucking umbrellas. As if it was... I think, I would think it was more of a concealment, as more of a cover kind of thing. I don't remember them deflecting bullets, but they were like...
I thought it was
It
to help.
deflected bullets.
I thought it was to help the ginger protect himself from the sun, so he wouldn't get sunburned. But apparently, these awesome parasols of awesomeness can be used to deflect bullets, and they weren't even modified in any movie way. It was just fucking umbrella.
And
There you go.
Let me ask you, for this elite criminal, well, not really elite, but this criminal organization, why does only 2 guys have guns and everyone else is like fucking coming out from a medieval times with flails and shit to kill people?
The only reason they built a Kevlar umbrella for this movie is because the director needed one when he showed the first 20 minutes to the film executives.
Seriously, no. I swear, it was like a fucking, like, Mad Max LARPing session at the fucking dam. So, they had, like, melee and fucking archers. I don't know what the fuck they call the guy with the guns.
Yeah.
Archers?
It was a Mad Max LARPing where everyone had to shop at Frederick's of Hollywood.
Exactly.
Frederick's of Hollywood.
George Lazenby tries to escape, and he gets killed, causing Lance to
Oh,
lose.
whoa.
Oh, my
come
God.
on, you're
Jeez.
The way he gets killed.
Slow
is
your
so
roll.
No,
awesome.
wait, back it up, man.
Okay, go
He
ahead. Paul.
tells the goon to touch his left breast.
Yes. He reached out emphatically and
He's
squeezes
like,
it.
left breast. And then the goon, reaches for his breast, and then he stabs him in the hand.
And enough blood comes out that's like his femoral artery got slashed.
Okay,
Oh, no,
put
my
your
brain.
hand on my heart so I can stab it. Did he have a death wish? Maybe he wanted to take his own life. I imagine after playing James Bond, he was really depressed to be in this film. I can picture him in his trailer. He's in his trailer between scenes throwing darts at a Sean Connery dartboard.
Fucking asshole.
Banging his fist on the table.
Where did my career go? No,
Fuck you, Roger Moore!
You set the fucking bar so goddamn high.
Oh no, but the death scene of the father. I love how it coincides with the gymnastics portion of things.
Oh my
Where
god.
the sawed-off shotgun plows him, and suddenly you see him and John Stamos go into this twisty roll.
Okay,
Slam
wait.
around.
The comparison shots between the father's backflip shotgun blast death. Well, say that 5 times fast, kids. Edited with the scenes of his son's gymnastic competition. Okay, this scene spoke to me because I realized I would rather be shot than watch gymnastics.
That's how I want to go. Shoot me over a high dive so I can backflip into oblivion.
So after he's dead, we next switch to the George Lazenby's funeral, and we meet Vanity's character, Danya Deering?
Yeah.
Okay, I want to point out that the men at the grave...
Danja Deering.
Sorry.
The men at the funeral, they look like the casting call for Agent Smith of The Matrix.
Mr. Anderson.
Well, I mean, I remember it was Danja because it rhymes with ganja.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
And that's my shit.
That's word association game.
I had a really hard time seeing Lance suffering in this scene, so I was really glad that after all this trauma, that Uncle Jesse was able to move in with his brother.
Going back to the funeral. I get the feeling that in this scene, both Vanity and John Stamos, they were competing. I think they both spent extra time in the makeup trailer. They wanted to out-pretty each other.
Seriously, I could just see them. No, and even better, they're like side by side, dolling themselves up. They can see each other in the reflection. They're just like whispering "cunt" underneath their breath to one another.
All right, but Stamos wins.
He wins.
Of course he wins.
I would fuck his hair.
So would that be a bitchy slap fight or a slappy bitch fight?
A sloppy bitch fight. And I've created a new hairstyle to create John Stamos, to create him, to celebrate him.
Yes.
I have been drinking.
How will you?
I'm going to call it the pullet.
Oh, God.
Is it so gorgeous you want to get behind him and just yank on it constantly?
No. It's short for pubic mullet. Okay, in order to have this hairstyle, you do have to have hair growing on your dickhead.
John Stamos is Greek, so...
I call mine John Jr.
He must have used some kind of Tibetan monk meditation style to grow all the rest of his body hair into beautiful head hair.
Yes.
Well, what happened to me was one time I dumped some Rogaine into my KY jelly. Which is shit right.
Paul, did you have anything else you wanted to tell us more about the pullet?
If he's fucking Greek and his hair looks like that motherfucker must have a midget lawn mowing his fucking body every fucking day.
No, but we're going back to the funeral.
Dressed in midget slave Princess Leia outfits and everything like that.
I'm pretty sure in the scene at the funeral where Vanity takes the rose and tears it up, I'm pretty sure that was method acting.
Yes, that was deep.
What was she trying to get into? How was she getting into character?
She was pretending that it was her film contract.
My character's motivation is just insane desperation, disappointment, and disgust with myself.
Yes.
It's an easy one to channel.
So Lance finds out after the funeral that he's inherited a farm in Ojai, which is where Bionic Woman lives, by the way. I don't know if you guys remember
Jamie
that.
Summers?
Yes. And so he goes to the farm, and then we switch to a scene where Vanity's actually at the farm as well, and she's attacked in...
Wait. We missed something that's seminal this whole thing. There was a horse involved, but no one was fucking jacking it off. How disappointing!
Yeah. I do want to say it was refreshing to see a woman mounting a horse for a change.
Yes. Glad to see that they were grabbing onto the reins instead of other parts of the horse.
So while she's in the stable with the horse, she gets attacked by Skull Belt Buckle and Yellow Mohawk Bill Paxton.
All right.
Game over, man.
Skull Belt Buckle.
Man.
All right.
Yes.
If Jack Nance was a bodybuilder,
Yeah,
he would look like that.
he does.
It's a homoerotic He-Man. I mean, just fucking retarded looking.
So she gets attacked by these two. She gets the drop on them by going into a secret compartment full of weapons.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it turns around and reveals all the weapons.
Right, right.
That's a brilliant
Here you
strategy.
go. Take your pick, bad guy.
You didn't think the bad guys would be like, oh, well, hey, let's get the fuck out of here.
No, they were too busy wielding their flails and knives to not
That revolving wall does not go to a secret porn chamber. It goes to a fucking arsenal.
They were too into the LARPing to bother to pick up weapons. It was sad.
So she gets the drop on them, but then they turn around and get the gun from her, and at exactly 23:45, time code on the movie, the Skull Belt Buckle, whose name we find out is Pyramid, says, "Fork over some ram cake, bitch, or we'll tenderize your butt."
That's right.
Just when this is happening, Lance shows up, and he distracts Pyramid, and they blow up the barn.
And this is where we need to go back, because before they blow up the barn, when they blow up the barn, I'm not quite understanding this. So she's unloading a machine gun clip on a guy. and suddenly random bottles that are off to the side suddenly spring a leak, catch on fire, and ignite a box of hand grenades that just happen to be sitting around.
Okay, and this is when John Stamos shows up.
Yeah.
And this is when things start getting messy for Uncle Jesse.
Yeah, Craig just pointed out a nice, good foreshadowing. It's never been more apparent that freaking Hollywood writers have never taken a fucking physics or science class. They haven't even been to fucking elementary school, okay? You tell them, hey, what's gravity? And they're like, well, I don't fucking know.
And I saw that movie. You might be right.
And then before the guy jumps in this dune buggy,
right?
She shoves his face in horse shit, and she's like, "Eat shit."
Well, that was witty.
I think I heard her whisper, just like the rest of the audience.
That was witty. I would never have guessed that "eat shit" was a reference to pushing his face in horse shit. There's a lot of good one-liners in this movie. Gems.
So, back in the house, we find out that Vanity is comfortable walking around in front of other people in her underwear, presumably because it's part of the job description when you're Prince Rogers Nelson's girlfriend. Lance tries to step out of the kitchen while she is changing, and she asks him if he's afraid of her, and although he says no, it seems readily apparent that he's just filled his pleated slacks to bursting with the first ejaculation of his preteen life.
It's a good thing they were white.
I think I just did that right now.
I also like the fact that you notice she has this like vertical arm slash that's going all the way across her arm, like her bicep. And she's got a butterfly band-aid that she puts on the wrong way. Like it's covering one spot of the thing, and the rest of it's just left to bleed out.
And so while they're talking in the kitchen, somebody shows up at the farm, and it's Carruthers. So Vanity leaves Lance at the house and tells him it'll be okay, which seems to be a stretch considering they were just punk rock mutant biker dune buggy assaulted.
Retarded future grindhouse.
But hey, she's the expert. And we find out for sure now that Ragnar is a hermaphrodite, and he performs in a nightclub called the Incinerator.
And about Ragnar's gang.
Yes.
I think that this gang is the same group of people that did Mad Max, this movie, Demolition Man. I think that they're not actors. I think they're indigenous people.
Any which way we can.
I think they're juggalos.
Yes. Juggalos.
I think they had extra money on their contract at the end of Mad Max, so they had to stuff them somewhere.
Yeah.
And this is where they ended up.
Like, fuck, man, we can't pay for a plane ticket back to where they came from. They'll just crash the plane and turn it into a bar or something.
Yeah, they were sent over from the Beyond Thunderdome set in the lesser-known Australia boat lift.
So what kind of biker gang do you know that praises their hermaphroditic cross-dressing songstress of a leader?
That calls you my little turd balls.
No, maybe these guys were just like, okay, how about this? Put this in perspective, okay? So maybe this is like one of those cross parallel dimension universal thingies, right? So let's say Rocky Horror Picture Show actually took their shit on the road, okay? All right, so you have Gene Simmons, who got the freaking part of Dr. Frankfurter, and that was his fucking roadies. Those were his gaffers and his fucking best boys, and I don't know whatever the fuck else they have to do to build the sets. But somehow they got stranded in freaking, desert California, and they forgot who they were.
It's like it's like Dr. Frankfurter became the lead in Sons of Anarchy.
No, it's just crazy fucking going native shit. And they've been on the road for so fucking long, they forgot who they were. And then now they just like, I don't know how they assume this terrorist identity, but it's so sad.
So this biker gang is the kind of biker gang that only happens in movies where they have their own restaurant, the Incinerator Club. And the Incinerator Club is the kind of place where you can drive your bike right up to the bar and get a beer and presumably an oil change.
As long as you have your horse head on the front of your bicycle.
Yeah, oh my god.
What the fuck?
And, we get to see Ragnar perform its stage performance.
Theirs.
And I gotta say, I admire Ragnar. She is the hardest working shim in the punk biker gang glam rock water irradiating business that I have ever seen. What do you guys think about this?
I agree.
That's freaking serious pioneering right there. I don't give a fuck that Steve Jobs invented the fucking Apple II. Or maybe it was the Apple I before the Apple II. Or the fucking Bill Gates invented binary or something like that.
Oh, wait,
That
was that before Al Gore invented the internet?
Yeah. This motherfucker, Ragnar, is a fucking hardcore pioneer.
Yes, he's a Renaissance man, woman.
Seriously.
Hermaphrodite? I don't know.
Hermaphrodite, man.
So Lance and Vanity show up at the club, and the tranny waitress loves her some Stamos.
Speaking of the tranny waitress, does she not remind you of, say, like, Lady Gaga's mother for some reason? That's what I saw.
Well, it would technically be her father since it was a transvestite.
Quite true. My mistake.
That would explain a lot about Lady Gaga.
And so we also find out that Lance takes most of his fashion cues from Philip Michael Thomas at this point. So while they're there, Lance gets into Ragnar's dressing room by acting a little more feminine than usual.
Yeah.
And gets him and he signs an autograph for him. And then Ragnar thinks that he might be Lance Stargrove, and he tries to trick him by yelling, "Stargrove!"
Yes, that's a hardcore villain trick.
But the
right
funny
there.
thing is like, I guess Ragnar was just as much like mentally compromised as Lance was, because Lance was all like, "I'm sorry, that name doesn't mean anything to me." Like, who the fuck says anything about a name? If fucking Gene Simmons yells Stargrove out to me, I'm like, whoa, dude, fucking wrong hermaphrodite, man. I'm sorry.
Stargrove. Who wrote this shit? George Lucas? Ragnar.
This guy's like a Viking hermaphrodite roaming the seas, and
That's like, what's his face? What, Luke Skywalker's butt buddy or whatever? who was fucking pounding womp rats in the swamps?
James Darklighter.
Okay, so his whole ruse at this scene was he was asking for an autograph.
Yeah.
And I think Stamos is really disappointed when he and Gene Simmons didn't trade a wet kiss for the autograph photo.
Like, they almost fucking ad-libbed that, and like fucking Jesse was like, "Oh, the script says no."
He was disappointed. So
Sad
was I.
puppy dog face, you know. And then, you know, we have the gum transponder finally comes into play once more. He chews it and sticks it in a dead deer head's ear so that he can spy on the mastermind.
And so while all this is happening, Ragnar has had a bomb put on Lance's motorcycle. But just as Lance is getting ready to leave, this bum or other gang member takes the bike from him and blows up.
And you know what? He's the biggest villain in the entire film because he did not fucking let John Stamos die. And he failed.
Good Samaritan.
Oh my god, he's like the Frank Booth in this movie.
I know, but could that have been more clearly set up? The guy's getting on his bike and he's starting to start it, and John Stamos is just like, "No, don't, stop, boom."
Yeah, seriously.
I'm lethargic right now.
Being the badass that this movie will portray him as, it's not like it was a montage scene where he trained with fucking, like, I don't know, MI6 with James Bond and shit like that. He's a badass from the start, and he's just like, "Oh, you can have it."
Did you guys notice the license plate on Vanity's car?
No.
Oh my god, it said "nice ass."
Yeah, that's right.
And I'm pretty sure that's because bad AC-10 was taken.
So Lance and Vanity head out to the desert, and apparently it's a post-apocalyptic wasteland if you drive a few miles outside of Los Angeles.
Oh my god.
The Mojave Desert of California.
Right? No, it's a post-apocalyptic wasteland inside Los Angeles. Have you ever fucking been there? So I was in Los Angeles for 10 minutes before an Asian lady hit me. I'm not joking.
Wait, hit you like you were just like walking like, oh, I just...
No, I was in my van driving my kids to Disneyland. All of a sudden, bam, I get hit by an Asian lady in this giant SUV.
And so while they're in the desert, they're getting chased by guys on motorcycles.
Yeah.
One of them has a ball and chain spike.
Again, it's the
Yeah.
flail. He's just they
Yeah.
cannot afford guns in the
Seriously.
This is when the movie suddenly becomes a level from Road Rage.
Yeah, it's like freaking.
Only it looked better on the Sega Genesis.
Yeah.
I think we forgot an important part though with that stupid transponder.
The twisted metal.
Oh yes,
Yes, hermaphroditic moron finds it in the deer, just like, oh look, it's here. Like instantly knows it's there, and then giggles like a dumb bitch as she drops it in the toilet and flushes it. Well,
my best interpretation is that.
yes.
I want to interview the Hollywood writer, and what was like, well, how did he know that there was gum there? And he's like, well, okay, this particular brand of GPS gum reeks and tastes like horse shit. You can smell this horse shit gum, chewing gum, from across the room.
Little known fact: hermaphrodites can hear wireless signals.
You guys
C.
apparently missed
No,
it.
C.
He had a detector device in his hand that made little beeping noises the closer he got.
Oh,
to the
that's
thing.
right, yeah.
And that is how he found the chewing gum
That's right.
transponder thing. It was brilliant. Carry on.
Thank you for fact checking, Craig.
So the biker mutants, they spike strip the road and catch Vanity and Lance.
Yeah, there was no ambush in the spike strip. They just like fucking laid it out a mile before they got there. And
Yeah.
Jesse was like, "What the fuck is that? Kill it!"
Trader Ginger obviously let these guys know where he was going because they reported to him.
Yep.
They lay out the spike trip, and then of course you get the Mad Max scene coming from there. But Gabe, you take it away.
That's all right.
Wait, after they capture Vanity and Stargrove and the net, I kept waiting for them to siphon the gasoline out of it.
Where was the gyrocopter pilot in all of this? So Lance wakes up back at the farm, and there are two punks that are torturing him by making him eat a cherry tomato.
Well, hold on a minute though. You're missing some other parts
Aren't
of this
they
chase scene on
spanking
the
them?
road. For instance, like he gets on both sides. There's these bikers, right, and they're
Right.
freaking swinging their melee weapons and crap. But like seriously, the biker on his fucking left. I mean, the throttle's on the right, so he's trying to like reach over with his like fucking left arm. He really did not fucking think their strategy through. Like maybe that guy needed like a fucking lance or something like that.
Did you see the fact that the one guy with the axe actually hit him with the back of the axe like 2 times on the shoulder for no particular fucking reason?
Ow!
Hey, is this the side that works?
That fucking rubber axe hurts.
Was the costume designer like a huge flock of seagulls?
The hairstylist was.
And then they freaking hide underneath. Like, so I don't know what he does. Uncle Jussie does like a fucking double pirouette backflip into fucking what's her face's car, and then they fucking hide underneath the trailer of a fucking truck.
That was clearly too small for that.
Wait,
car
this
to
is
fit.
after he's spanked,
Yes,
right?
the first time you see it, it's obviously like 2 inches too tall on the windshield.
Dude, that
I
scene
think it's
reminds
trying to
me.
go under.
It reminds me of the Jurassic Park: The Lost World, where Jeff Goldblum's black daughter is fighting the raptors at the end with gymnastics.
I have
Oh
no
my
idea
god,
about that scene. Oh.
Jim Cotta.
I've never seen that movie.
Oh, it's bad.
Count yourself lucky.
So back at the farm, Lance is getting his butt handed to him until he sees the Stargrove insignia on the shelf in his dad's den or whatever. And he goes Hulkamania on their asses.
It grants him magical kung
I have
fu
the powers.
when he stares at it. This gymnast suddenly becomes Jackie fucking Chan.
Seriously, he was like
because
fucking-
he rubbed a medallion.
He's like fucking He-Man. He pulls a fucking dildo out and goes, by the power of Grayskull, and fucking goes medieval on their ass.
And we get our first sample of the Stargrove theme reprise at this point in the film.
Unfortunately.
And then while he's just meandering around the farm, he finds a secret lair on the floor of his dad's bedroom.
Oh, I like this part because it's like the symbol rolls away from him because he's Butterfingers. And it lands, and suddenly the floor starts glowing red for no particular reason whatsoever.
Seriously, it's like a freaking Jerry Bruckheimer moment. Pirates of the fucking Caribbean, you know? It's like, whoa, I wasn't expecting that to happen.
I know. And how would this movie have been totally different if he had not done that?
It would have ruined it.
He would never would have found a random slot in the floor.
Yeah.
It would have ruined it for you? Would have?
So while he's down in the lair where his dad kept all of his stuff from his secret agenting days,
sex dungeon.
So while he's down there, the Rainbow Rider sneaks in to attack Lance.
Okay, the mystery biker.
Yeah.
Wearing his bright yellow and green camo as he navigates the house.
He looks like a love child of Mork from Ork and Boba Fett.
And I think that they put him in the picture at this point to make John Stamos not appear to be the femmiest person on screen.
Vanity had more masculinity.
You know, it's so cute because, like, I see John Stamos running through the house, and he's got that button-up shirt that's kind of going down past his back pockets, but can't you just, like, imagine him not wearing jeans, but just a pair of panties? I can totally see that. Like, maybe he was, like, reenacting the scene from Ghost. He's making, like, fucking pots and shit like that in his fucking living room.
Hey guys,
He slides into the hallway like Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
A risky business.
I gotta suddenly go into the bathroom for about 2 minutes. I will be back. Don't ask. I need to go masturbate for a moment.
There's nothing funny about you using the bathroom.
So around this point, we get our first Robert Englund appearance.
Yes! Oh, Robert Englund, you are
Wait.
SchlockTalk's new avatar.
We talk about her.
We forgot about the Asian Power Ranger guy.
Yeah, we still have to
Yeah,
go on
dude,
the
his
fact that,
freaking little Kato.
He shows up.
Yeah. So
No.
the Rainbow Rider, he's
Rainbow
Yeah,
Rider.
I think he's the ultimate villain of the Power Rangers. If you look at it, he's got the Power Rangers yellow vest, blue gloves, green pants, and red boots. The only thing we're missing is a pink fucking helmet.
Like, seriously, he
Was he
fucking
not
killed the
wearing
fucking
rainbow
Power
suspenders?
Rangers, and he made a disgusting Buffalo Bill suit
Wait, it
out of
wasn't
their
wearing-
skin.
Yes. That's what I'm assuming happened.
So he's Voltron.
The Power Rangers assemble their body into this guy.
And instead of saying "I'll be the," he says "I'll give the head." And that's the
And I'll give the head.
So we find out that the Rainbow Rider is his Asian roommate, who apparently is a weapons expert in addition to inventing texting.
Kato?
texting, gum transmitters,
Yep.
and super weapons.
And they decide they're going to...
Exploding paintball guns.
Kato, what do you make next? Dildo microphones? And...
It's like a super soaker that's souped up to blow up walls. Crazy.
And so they decide they're going to go find Vanity. And like I said, this is right around the time we find Robert Englund for the first time. And we can only assume that he can't rewrite the water irradiating computer program again because he must have had his knife fingers installed between the last time.
That's 1.44 megabytes of data, man.
So they decide they're going to go get the computer program, the computer disk again. And at one point, Ragnar kills one of his minions and tells the other people, "Garbage him!"
The failed one that our effeminate Lance Grove master, whatever the fuck his name is.
Jesus, man.
Again, this isn't even a joke. I don't have anything else to add to this.
No, it's like Mad
There's no
Maxing
need.
to the extreme. It's like, you break a deal, you face the wheel. 2-man enter, 1-man leave. It's like Ragnar is fucking just pulling this shit out of his ass.
And the guy, of course, much like the woman
Wait,
earlier.
I think he's shoving it up there.
Yeah. He's just shoving it up his ass. Compost this motherfucker.
So Ragnar has Vanity placed into a giant oven to torture her and tell him where the disc is.
Yeah, but the goons are yelling, "Tuck a burn! Tuck a burn! Tuck a burn!"
Hey, can we talk about her camel toe?
Yes.
I don't know how we can't.
Let's have a discussion.
Let's expand on this
I'm
topic.
pretty sure to achieve that amount of fabric insertion.
Maybe there's like a special anchor, Kegel anchor, that she like wears inside herself to pull it up,
Maybe Gene Simmons just didn't take her pants
I
off before he
think
gave
The
her
costume designer's like, it's not possible.
Pretty sure there was both a tailor and a gynecologist on the set.
No, she sucks so bad that her clothes are literally sucked into her body.
The fucking costume designer's like, it can't be done, it can't be done.
Give me the
Give me a speculum.
Not like that, but they do a really nice long scene of her crotch. Like whether hitting her with sticks, her legs are open, and she's like, "No, stop it."
Yeah.
The only person who has a prettier vagina than her is John Stamos.
That or Lovey.
Oh.
I only assume they had the dog from the Warner Brother cartoons who stuffed Foghorn Leghorn through the hole in the fence.
Oh, God.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
So anyway, Paul, did you have anything else you wanted to say about the
I just
camel
wanted to
toe?
say, is it just me, or if Vanity's face was covered with pockmarks, would she not resemble James Edward Olmos?
Oh my fucking God.
I can't really bring that one to mind. Sorry, I can't channel that.
So, Lance and the Rainbow Rider, who, as I said, it turns out is his dorm mate and or longtime companion.
I like Power Ranger Slaughterer.
Twin brother.
They rescue Vanity, and they figure out at this point that Carruthers is the traitor, right?
No,
they go and have the meeting with the other people from the agency or something. They have like a super futuristic like room that they're all in meeting in.
But I mean, we're forgetting something about the
torch, the fire flamethrower.
No, we're forgetting about the oven scene where they put her in, because the temperature on the dial clearly goes to above 400 degrees.
Yeah.
Before he saves her.
She's not even sweating.
And then they
I
take
just wanted to point that out because it was ridiculous. Like, she would have been dead.
Yeah.
and then to get out, they take the super soaker, they point it towards a wall, and they shoot it, and suddenly enough smoke and ash is billowing out there. They think the whole building fucking flew apart. And they run out there and they get away on their fucking motorcycle.
Not to mention that half the time they shoot that paintball piece of shit, just a turd flops out.
A flaming fucking turd flops out.
It's like me every morning.
So we do find out at this point, after they rescue her, that Carruthers is the traitor, and they inform the head of the agency about this.
No, they don't.
Yeah, they have a meeting.
No, he's with them at the meeting, though. Carruthers is right there with them.
Maybe
John Stamos just intuits that he's the villain because he set them up twice.
Yeah, because that wouldn't make sense, because then he shows up later during the mission.
Yes.
Hardcore gymnastics gives you psychic powers.
God, you guys really watched this movie closely. A lot more closely than I did, I think.
I enjoyed this movie.
You could fucking write a report, a college report on this shit, and like be promoted to dean of the fucking university. It's so good.
I think this was better than Galaxy of Terror.
If you were in the Boy Scouts, you get your enduring.
You had me at
badge.
Gene Simmons as a hermaphrodite.
I know, right? Oh, I almost creamed myself in hearing that.
It's like, what do you mean the role he was born to play? What?
The very first thing I thought when I saw it was like, that's the love child of Gene Simmons and Tim Curry. What? Gene Simmons.
Yes.
Could we say typecast?
So they decide they're going to set up Lance and Vanity as bait to draw out the bad guys. And while they're doing that, they have them at a lovely L.A. Hollywood Hills chateau where they hang out. We find out that Lance likes to just hang in his gymnastics gear.
Yeah, they're fucking walking around like they have no fucking brains in their skulls. Like, they're totally not a decoy. And they're just walking around like blankly staring in different directions, not interacting with one another like normal people, perhaps reading a book. Walking around like fucking like non-player characters from a Splinter Cell game or something. You know, I'm just waiting for some fucking ninja to walk up and backstab him or whatever.
So Vanity thanks Lance for saving her. And even though they know everyone from the CIA is watching them, she starts to seduce him. And this is like one of the greatest scenes in the movie.
God.
And he's really fighting himself not to jump all over this. At one point, he like chomps down on a piece of fruit, and I have to believe that he misunderstood that the phrase was "an apple a day keeps the boners away."
I thought he was just too busy thinking about his homoerotic Asian boyfriend.
That's probably true
like,
as well.
I kept waiting for him to say, "Have mercy."
He's like, Vanity, you're awesome if only you had like a tiny fucking penis.
She's like the equivalent of praying the gay away.
Yep.
Straight to her gay to straight camp.
So she was Prince's girlfriend.
Yes, she
That's
was.
very true.
So while they're having an extended lovemaking scene, all I could think of the whole time was that he's thinking, I'm just making sure that I hate this.
And I gotta say, this love scene bullshit. I felt more love and tenderness in the vulgar rape scene than I felt in this love scene between these two douchebags.
No, this love scene was the worst. I'm like, okay, so just picture this. Imagine you took, like, I don't know, like a 5-year-old boy and a 5-year-old girl. You frickin' ripped their souls from their tender little bodies and thrust them into Vanity and Lance. And you're the director and you're saying, have sex like you think adults have sex. The freaking foreplay is horrible. They're just walking about, just giving each other creepy freaking stares. And just like the way, like, what is it? Like, you know, he just couldn't decide on a position. You'd like pick her up and hold her and like swing around and throw her on the bed and lay on top of her. And he'd like go back down and lay like on his back or then lay prostrate or whatever. Yeah.
It was like you took an alien, showed him 4 minutes of some lovemaking footage out of a movie, and been like, now you have sex. And he's like, this is what we do when we have sex.
Let us have the sex like human.
This is how we sex things.
And they do this with like half of the intelligence of the West Coast watching them do this. Jack Bauer saw them do this.
There was more tenderness in the scene of entrails of a beautiful woman when the giant dick eats the woman. I mean, come on.
Yes.
Like, seriously, I felt there was, like, more passion from the maggot raping the woman on Galaxy of Terror. There's more of a connection, a spiritual connection there.
So after they have sex... Sorry, Joel, did you have something else you wanted to say?
I'm just saying, it's just like, can you, like...
Joel is really disturbed.
No, seriously, can someone just direct, like, just direct a sex scene where it's like, just... Both of you have sex, you really don't want to fucking do this. Like, there's something so much better you can do with your time. Like, you're doing this because you're in fucking tremendous amounts of gambling debt and you need to feed your coke habit.
Maybe they called, like, David Cronenberg in and said, will you direct the sex scene?
Yes.
Speaking of sex, Flavia switched to Joel for the evening.
Thank God.
And before the sex scene, when they're doing all this flirting back and forth, she's wearing a diaper.
Yes!
And he's wearing this Miami Vice shirt in horrendously pleated pants.
High, horrendously pleated pants.
Well, he's wearing his gym uniform, isn't he? He's wearing his gym workout gear.
No, he's got shirt is definitely not his gym uniform.
He's got the Miami Vice shit going on. It's unbuttoned down to his belly button. I got the picture here. He's unbuttoned down his belly button. He's got this belt, and the belt is above the belly button. So, like, in between his shirt and the belt, there's only about 4 inches.
Wow, is that a moose knuckle I'm seeing?
Yeah.
Stop staring so hard, Paul.
So after they have...
God, he just came on my leg.
After they have half of LA's law enforcement division watch them have the sex, they hop into the helicopter for a little post-shame sky tour of Los Angeles. And Carruthers...
That's the only way to tour Los Angeles.
And Carruthers is in the helicopter. And not only that, we find out that in fact Carruthers is Ragnar.
Ginger Gene, no!
Who takes them back to the biker lair.
You know what I can't understand is why Gene Simmons' acting career didn't take off after this.
No shit.
Yeah.
I cast him for freaking everything. I fucking cast him for the Olsen twins in Full House. I'm so glad to be working with you again, Mr. Stamos.
How
This is such an
campy and
honor.
fun his acting was. I'm surprised he didn't do other crazy stuff like this.
Indiana Jones villain? Freaking Bond villain.
A Bond villain. Oh, that would be epic.
Yeah.
You know, what I want to know is what kind of background checks do they run at the Secret Service agency where fucking Gene Simmons is one of their top operatives?
Like, you didn't think that, like, maybe, like, while he was training in the CIA, someone would be fucking taking a shower with him after Krav Maga lessons?
And what is going on?
Are his boobs inflated? Can he just, like, deflate them?
I don't know.
What's he doing in his spare time? I mean, like, is this a double life where he has 2 wives sort of thing? Like, where he tells the military, hey, you know what, I'm going to be taking 2 weeks off. And then he comes here and he mouth queefs people to death for a couple weeks.
Yeah.
And then he tells all his gang members, like, hey, I got to go over here for a couple weeks. And then he goes back to the military.
Yeah,
I mean, how does he balance? This is complex shit.
Well, you know, the
like
fact that he
Mr.
can
and
marry
Mr.
himself legally
Mr. and
does
Mrs.
get around some of this problem.
Mr. and Mrs. Smith and Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the beast with 2 backs.
Yeah, but seriously, like, oh, well, Ragnar must just be some other hermaphrodite, not the guy that we work with.
There's so many of them.
Seriously, man, I was taking a shower with Randy Norris. I'm telling you, he pulled a fucking tampon out. He threw it in the trash.
Have you seen Japanese movies lately? These people are all over that fucking place.
So before they bring Vanity and Lance out, Ragnar talks to the minions and throws them a bunch of pills that he says are placebos.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's fucking awesome. Not Quaaludes, not freaking ecstasy. Have some placebos.
Well, the guy can't afford guns. He surely can't afford drugs.
But it's fucking placebos. They're fucking sugar pills.
No,
How much?
I am so fucked up on placebos right now. You have no clue. I'm seeing things.
He seriously has the most fucking retarded fucking minions. They must have placebos. That's acid. That's fucking cocaine in a pill form. Give me that shit.
Once
What's
again,
a placebo?
Juggalos.
Yeah.
Well, that would explain 100% why they'd be taking placebos.
And the reason he can't afford guns, he spent it all on Lee press-on nails.
Not to hairspray.
Guys, okay, we need to take a cut in the hairspray budget because fucking swinging maces on bicycles is not fucking doing it.
You're not James Cameron.
And so they bring Lance and Vanity out into the middle of the courtyard or whatever it is that they're standing in.
Stand trial.
And I just want to take a moment of silence at this point to just kind of mourn the fact that our rape streak here at SchlockTalk is over at this point because the bikers are about this close to raping Vanity. Say what you will about Ragnar. Even though he wants to kill everybody Alexander Litvinenko style. That's that Russian spy that they killed with the radiation. Anyway, he makes a kind gesture here, and also, like I said, ends our SchlockTalk 4-movie rape streak by making the gang members not sexually assault Vanity.
Well, you know what? Hey, listeners, I have an idea. If you go to our last episodes, any of them, here's a drinking game for you. Take a shot every time we mention rape. We're not responsible if you die of alcohol poisoning.
Please make sure
But you will die of alcohol poisoning.
We just suggest that perhaps you call the paramedics an hour in advance and just say, hey, can you guys come get me in an hour?
I'm playing the SchlockTalk drinking game? Okay, we'll be over.
Right,
so-
stop raping Joel's leg. Go ahead.
At this point, Lance and Pyramid are going to fight to the death, and it occurred to me that Pyramid is actually like a lower functioning blaster from Beyond Thunderdome.
Whoa, dude, does anyone know what the insults he used were to get Pyramid to fight him? Does anyone have that?
Oh, he was saying some dumbest stuff.
Wait, did he insult his hair?
He was just trying to say like, oh, you're very womanly and you're so frail.
He's the bottom and Gene Simmons.
You
is
have
the
a
top
woman's
in their
biceps.
relationship, and yeah, it was really antagonizing.
Yeah, really, it's like seriously like middle school insults. Like the one-liners here were just crazy stuff I heard on the playground when I was in 6th grade.
We'll go back and post them on the Facebook page and on the website.
Yes, famous quotes for you to read every day before you go to work to get you pumped up for the day.
Yes.
To your kids.
Correct me if I'm wrong. The last time I saw you, I think this pretty little girl had your face in horseshit. Yeah, I am right. Horseshit. Yeah. What I'd like to know is how you'd react on a one-on-one basis with a real man. That's me, you know. Shut up.
Let me square him. Let me square him.
Let me square him.
I'm squirming.
Let him go.
And now they're letting John Stamos free so he can fight the bastard.
This
not a
is
bad
an
idea.
awesome scene right here. I mean, I love the fact that John Stamos gets free, falls on his back, kicks a gun out of a guy's hand, and here is surrounded by 300 thugs with their medieval times weapon selection. Man, just to run them all off with this one rifle.
Wait,
Oh, it was a
they were
horrible
at a
idea.
Renaissance fair, right?
Yeah.
But if you look at the group,
A beyond Renaissance
nobody
fair.
has a gun except for the one person.
No, there was like
Yeah.
5 guys you see have a gun in like 10 seconds of that scene, and he shoots them all dead.
Okay. Wow.
So at about this time, after Lance kills Pyramid, the military arrive, and there's a firefight between the Ragnar gang and Lance and Vanity and the soldiers. And Ragnar tries to detonate the bomb. I didn't follow this very well, but he tries to detonate the bomb, but he's too far away.
Do you remember when him and Vanity are like sleeking through the hallways?
Yeah.
Because I swear to God, that was fucking choreographed. I kept waiting for the music to start.
It's like the
They're like in
freaking
sync.
yeah. Seriously, it
I
just
thought
only
somebody
brings
was
up
gonna
memories.
top hats and a cane.
It brings up memories of like the Joker ascending the bell tower with what's her face, Kim Basinger in the first Batman movie by Tim Burton.
Let's see. So he wants to radiate the water supply, but he's too far away, and this leads to a one-on-one fight atop of the dam between Lance and Ragnar.
Well, at first I got to bring up the fact that when you're trying to get somewhere with extreme speed to blow up a dam, cement truck with like 2 trailers attached to it, not my first choice of vehicle.
Let's see, I've got the Corvette, the motorcycle, there's a helicopter. I'm taking the truck.
And when he gets to the dam,
he's got a gun. I need a truck.
He grabs a bunch of flowers out of a pot.
Yeah, that's right.
For what reason? To place on top of the case before him and John Stamos get in a fight.
And who is decorating the dam with these flowers in the first place, one wonders? Yeah. Where the fuck did those come from? This will look so much prettier today.
I think it was him, because isn't that where their secret hideout was?
Maybe. I don't know.
Him and Freddy Krueger's secret bungalow or sex shack.
Poor Freddy Krueger got left behind after the firefight in the truck.
Freddy Krueger loved Gene Simmons. I could feel it in the acting.
Well, they both had a fetish for long nails at one point or another.
Yeah.
That in common.
He died and then he came back as Freddy.
So this is our second Robert Englund film.
It is.
We're going to see a lot more of him because I have a feeling that guy is like the freaking king of this shit. The undeclared crowned king of this underground crap.
He's the lame sidekick king right there. I mean, the guy's got no major role in either of the movies we've watched. Just really pathetic, stupid ones.
And so at one point, while Gene Simmons is driving down to the dam, he looks at the computer that he has the program uploaded to, and it says, "Detonation program complete. Thank you." And I really appreciated that this is probably the last time anything polite was ever said on a computer.
We appreciate your genocide.
Please kill me. Don't mention me in the credits of this film.
As long as you take
It was an early version of Siri.
You are trying to blow up a dam. Would you like a different color lipstick?
So, during the fight between Ragnar... We're going to pause for a minute for Paul to collect himself. His face is beet red. He's going to have a heart attack
Joel.
right here. So, they have an extended fight on top of the dam. And I was led to believe up to this point that we've got one of the gayest heroes in movie history. But then John Stamos, in a fit of transphobic violence, bites Gene Simmons right on the boob.
Yes.
Oh, that was the best part.
Oh,
Titty
yes.
bite. At 126 minutes,
That's what sold
there was a
Gene
titty
Simmons
bite.
on the movie. He read the script and he's like, the whole script, he's shaking his head, and then he read, bites my boob? Okay, I'm in.
I'm in.
I will do this movie for free.
He bites Ragnar.
Well, no. Can you guys pay for the breast implants first? Because I don't want to pay for those. I don't.
He bites Ragnar right on her shim boob.
Schmale mammaries.
But Ragnar still manages to get the upper hand, and he's got Lance hanging off the edge of the dam.
Oh God!
Oh man!
And just when we think that Lance is going to meet his untimely end, he appeals to Ragnar's vanity, and when Ragnar's about to kiss him, he stabs him with his own cocaine finger.
Yes, that was crazy.
And I just wanted to tell you how beautiful you are.
Yes.
That's the only time that's been said to Gene Simmons.
You can see the look of genuine appreciation across his face.
It's because he never heard that before.
when he stabs him with the fingernail, it's like the older brother playing the "Why are you hitting yourself" game.
That is the most freaking retarded way to win a fight.
Taken to its logical conclusion. So Lance 69 leg throws him off the dam.
Yes.
Q68.
68?
Here.
Fucking Zangiefs
I
him.
couldn't think of a mathematical joke here, unfortunately. Craig, you got anything?
No, it's 68 degrees of suck is what it comes down to.
And so he realizes he can't deprogram the computer or even just turn it off, which would seem to make sense. And so he throws the computer off the side of the dam.
First he tries to shoot it with a gun that lobs a turd out. And then it
Yes.
nothing.
Yeah, vanity cunt face. She throws. Okay, so first off, before all this started, the Asian Paul Bunyan guy, because he switched from Power Rangers killers into a different outfit, which was this
Lumberjack.
red-clad lumberjack shirt with suspenders, and so with his beautiful costume change, he hands his piece of shit gun to the girl as she gets up in the helicopter, and while they're fighting it, looks like she's going to try to shoot it. And I have never been so hopeful that she pulls a trigger and there's an actual bullet in the gun and it hits John Stamos in the head. But
it would never kill him because it would bounce off his hair. He's wore the
that's
fucking...
not a hair, that's a helmet.
He's been wearing that hair helmet the whole movie.
Thank you, Aquanet.
Yeah.
So then he gets this gun thrown from her and he can't... She's such a shitty thrower. God, she throws it and he has to run like 20 feet... jumps and dives for it, and it still ends up smashing on the ground.
And what the fuck was him running over to the computer, turning it around?
Yeah. He had to face the computer.
Yeah.
I have to see the screen while I'm shooting you.
Yep. And wouldn't a fucking boot to the computer have done the same
He's
thing?
thinking,
this gun
maybe
would've?
there's porn on it.
No, time to die.
Isn't it just amazing that, like, fucking wireless did not fucking exist at this point? And also, the computer completely finished its I'm gonna poison the douchebags of fucking whatever program. And, like, it's like, whoa, why don't I just destroy the computer? That'll fix everything. It'll completely reverse the fucking process.
Because whatever signal it sent to start this, it'll send the signal to cancel it as soon as I destroy the computer.
If I cease the signal, it must do the exact opposite.
And yay, logic!
Once again, we're bringing the science factor of this movie that's produced.
No, the ending is the best.
Well, hold
Continue.
on, just a sec. Up to this point, we've been led to believe this is a bomb that's going to blow up the dam, right?
No, it's radiation poisoning, right?
It just opens up a door that
valve,
apparently is connected to the dam because they decided to have Los Angeles' water supply connected to Los Angeles' toxic radioactive waste supply.
That makes perfect sense.
Aren't
Yes,
they one of the
because
same
they were just
sewage
planning
system?
ahead.
Anyway.
This must be like a fucking historical documentary on Los Angeles or something, and that's why everyone's fucking crazy in this city.
That's why your uncle has 3 eyes.
Everyone's crazy because they're descendant of John Stamos.
Yeah. So he blows up the computer by throwing the gun at it, right?
Yes, which for some reason explodes on contact.
He fucking throws the goddamn computer up in the fucking air, and like 8 seconds later, when the fucking thing is probably where to reach like terminal velocity and fucking at the bottom of the dam, he throws the fucking gun up in the air and it fucking collides with it. He doesn't throw them up at the same friggin' time.
But it looks like
Did you
when it
really
was thrown, like
expect
it was thrown
logic
from like
at this point.
It was like thrown from 2 people 30 feet away, throwing it up at each other.
Yes. Yeah.
From different
they come from
angles.
across the field as if 2 fucking quarterbacks managed to fucking throw footballs that exactly bounce off one another or touch halfway through the field.
And why was he wielding a gun that Asian Q decided to make explode on contact? Where was the genius in this weapon design? Did he overload it somehow? No, he just throws it at the thing and it explodes on contact.
Why didn't it explode at the beginning of the movie when he threw it on the floor?
I don't know.
Did you imagine that? Like you're running and you trip and all of a sudden you die because your gun explodes?
No, because the thing is it didn't like you know, boom, here's a fire, but no fucking thing came out. Something shit on the ground and fucking flamed and rolled around. It didn't mean it was necessarily unstable, but I guess it jammed or whatever, and so, yeah, naturally he had to frickin' throw it up.
It's filled with burning turds.
And so they literally walk off into the sunset at the end of this movie, and that's about it.
They don't walk off in the sunset. They drive off in this dune buggy scene from fucking hell. It's like 2 minutes long, corny as shit.
Yeah.
He gets off and he's like, "I'm sorry, babe, but I can't take you with me," sort of shit.
Yeah.
Him and the retarded Asian guy take off in his Paul Bunyan suit. They do all these cookies and they're going around the field.
Yeah.
And it's so cool. And the camera's on it's on a helicopter or something because it's panning back and so beautiful. And then they turn around and it's like, "Just kidding, bitch. Get in the fucking car."
Yeah.
And then they go off into the sunset.
You're right.
I
It was
got
so
you.
funny. But I seriously took that scene very seriously the first time because it's like, you know, hey Johnny, Uncle Jesse, you can have my camel toe in your presence all the time. Work with me. And he's like, no.
It's the Olsen twins for me.
He's like,
See
no.
how pissed he was.
He's like, no. I got Kato right here.
He
completes
has
me.
a log just for me.
He completes me. It can be like this every day with him. I wish I could quit him, but I can't.
Weapons and almost kill me when
I
they
can't quit
explode.
you. I can't quit you, Kato.
He has gum transponders.
Driving off in the sunset.
Oh my God.
Well, to be honest, I would rather hang out with Asian Paul Bunyan than have awkward sex with what's her face, Vanity.
It's gonna be like this like all the time. This is like creepy.
At least
I mean, the first time was cute. I thought the whole world was watching and getting a laugh, but
Me and my Pocahontas.
at least he's gonna make cute stuff. I mean, he's gonna like, hey, check this out. I got a microwavable football.
What are you talking about?
well, hold on a minute.
What the fuck, a microwavable football?
Alan is the
Oh my
pot smoker.
God, you just made a gay
not
level
you.
joke.
And so that is Never Too Young to Die, which is not available for watching at home, except for on YouTube in its entirety, and we encourage people to go do that.
Please support this. We need it to come out, reproduce, whatever.
Oh,
Director's cut.
Sequel? Do I hear
Sequel?
Oh, that would
I
Remake.
feel bad that
I
we
want a
missed
remake.
the titular line where he actually, Gene Simmons is on the ledge there, and he says, "You were never too young to die," and then tries
Yes,
to kill
they
John
worked
Stamos.
the title into the fucking movie.
And
So
I
retarded.
just by coincidence I ran across it today. There's some there's some book for like senior living, like, and there's a book out there called Never Too Old to Live.
Oh, that's the sequel.
That's
Him and Ragnar are in an old folks' home.
And so Paul has a pitch that he's going to be telling us. Paul, take it away.
Sorry, Paul.
All right, tonight's movie, Mission Mangina.
Oh God, here we go again.
Okay, my log line for this film, this is what's going to sell it to the studio suits. It's like Face Off, but with crotches.
Oh God.
What's your movie themes about crotches? Dirty crotches,
Take his
transplanted
crotch
crotches.
Oh my God. Okay.
Take his crotch off.
Secret Agent, Virginia Titsburg. She has been working undercover, posing as the lover of the notorious Dr. Balls. Dr. Balls is a criminal mastermind with plans for world domination. Virginia tragically dies in a freak vibrator accident, and with her dies a key piece of information that would lead to Balls' defeat. Having nowhere else to turn, the agency turns to Virginia's twin brother, Ted, a simple librarian who until now had no idea of his sister's secret life. Ted agrees to undergo a surgery to have his sister's vagina surgically transplanted and his penis removed. He sacrifices his dick for the sake of the planet. It has to be her snatch, because Balls is a proclaimed pussy professor, and he would know the difference.
Like you wouldn't know the difference at all. The lack of press, the 5 o'clock shadow, that's not going to give it away.
What do you guys think?
This is her.
Blockbuster?
It's good.
Dude, there
Straight
better
to
be a
Blockbuster
fucking
right before they
scene
close, but,
where a fucking midget comes out like fucking halfway with a shotgun and fucking blows the bad guy away. It can only fucking end that way. It's got to be like on a plane. No, it's fucking skydiving from a plane. And they're fist fighting. And he fucking opens his shit up and then bam, Wee Man pops out with a fucking sawed off.
Out of the
Bam.
vagina?
Yes, out of the vagina. Fucking blows the bad guy fucking away. Michael Bay is like fucking punching himself in the nutsack because he didn't think of this shit. It's like, fuck me, fuck me. I will work something like this into Transformers fucking 7.
Only it will be filled with stereotype slurs.
Yes, stereotype slurs, fucking orange Shia LaBeouf, really fucking orange Shia LaBeouf, okay?
an Asian will pop out and stick chopsticks
And
into
more
his eyes.
fucking developmentally like retarded boobies than you can fucking imagine.
And robot balls.
And robot balls, yes.
Oh man.
But Christopher Walken screaming that. More robot balls.
More robot balls, please. We need the robot balls now.
They're the only thing that can save this planet. Optimus, please reach deep down.
The robot balls.
Cup them and rub them gently before you take them off.
Well, I don't think we have any fan mail this
Should
week,
they?
We don't have any fan mail.
People have finally wised up. I do have a new segment for the show.
Okay.
I want to call it STDs. SchlockTalk Do's and Don'ts.
ST double D's.
Isn't that STDD?
ST double D's.
Oh, that's
We're
even
using a
better.
little bit of artistic license here, I think.
Okay, so
Is STD like? Do they have like a rights or a trademark on that?
we're gonna be sued by herpes.
I am the original STD, and I want my fucking royalty check, bitches.
Gene Simmons might be able to sue some of us on that.
No, basically what this segment is that we, if you have anything to share, you share it. But basically we talk about things to watch or enjoy and things to avoid. And last time we got together, we watched a movie that we thought we were going to schlock, but it was so self-aware that we really couldn't schlock it because it was already schlocking itself. It's called Father's Day. If you're a fan of any of the shit, you should check that movie out. Do you guys agree?
I do.
Yes.
It's by the guys it's by the Trauma guys, and Trauma can do no wrong. They invented the freaking cult.
Oh, well.
Fuck man.
Lloyd Kaufman.
Fuck
Man is.
Fuck man is.
It's actually
Fuck man is.
it's actually these guys called Astron 6.
They're
who-
Canadian.
I don't know a whole lot about them other than they're great.
And
they
other
like
than the
to eat
multiple,
dick.
other than the multiple rape and penis eating scenes, not like gobbling as in a blowjob, but eating as in
Wolfing down.
consuming.
Would you like some ketchup?
If
with
he could
your
only
semen
just
and
put it on a
flesh?
bun and fucking squirt mustard all over it and eat it at a fucking baseball game.
And it's not like it was like off scene, like, oh, that guy, he probably ate
Like a
his dick.
silhouette
No,
of a guy.
he clomped his teeth on the dick and it stretched as it ripped off and blood flipped everywhere.
So we really love Father's Day. We encourage our listeners.
It made me feel closer to my dad.
Listeners, Christmas is around the corner, and give the ones you love the gift
Especially
that
your
matters.
dad.
Yes.
Father's Day.
I know my
Christmas,
two
Dad.
young children are both getting Father's Day.
Yes.
I always wanted to
Special
tell my
edition
dad to eat a
Blu-ray.
dick. This way I have a way of doing it.
So on the other hand, we have the Schlock Talk Don'ts.
We do, and this is stuff that you really probably want to avoid.
Okay.
And this is something that was brought to my attention earlier this week. It's a video that's available on the internet called Putrid Sex Object. And I know if you're listening to this, you're probably going to look it up, but I'm telling you right now, don't. Craig, you've never seen this, right?
That's correct, and I really don't want to.
Well,
right
you're
now.
going to. I'm going to hand you the
It's
video
okay,
right
Craig.
now.
We'll
I'm
get
meeting
through
to
this
sign the
together.
cross.
Craig is going to be taking the seat of honor, and we're going to be moving the
Okay.
mic so that he can get a seat.
Now,
It's
what
the
we
throne of
have
dicks.
is Daenerys coming into the room for some reason, or is that?
Lady Gaga.
Yeah, it could be Lady Gaga as well.
Don't blame her. She was just born that
There
way.
is a dead cow's head with its tongue hanging out,
And googly eyes.
possibly a horse head.
I think that's a horse head.
That could be a horse
No, I'm
head.
pretty sure it's cow.
It is some kind of bovine critter, and she is now sucking on the teeth with her tongue ring clacking against the teeth of the dead horse
Fuckballs.
while she masturbates its tongue. And it's hard to describe. She is now sucking the tongue out of the dead horse's mouth for her, oral pleasure. What the fuck? Now she's kissing it gingerly below the ear because apparently severed horse heads need affection too. She is now mounting the horse head. I don't think that's how you ride a horse. I'm pretty sure that is not the optimal way. Usually
That's
there's
certainly-
a saddle involved. Is she now shitting in the horse's mouth? Okay. She
Oh
is
my
now
God.
wiping the horse's entrails up her ass crack gingerly while some milky fluid is being rubbed on her vagina that I can't, and thank God I can't see. Is that...
wait a minute.
It's not a girl. Okay. It's got a penis that is being stuffed into a hole in the horse. What the fuck, man? I cannot unsee what I'm seeing.
Don't you fucking turn away.
Oh my God, it's jizzing all over the dead horse.
Oh, Jesus.
It's jerking off over the dead horse head. It is now faded to black, thank God.
Well, I'm thinking this is a don't. Craig, would you recommend this for our listeners?
Well, after watching Emmanuel, I feel like I had a primer for this that most people don't.
People who hate the show watch this.
This is proof that
All
God
the
does not
same.
exist.
This is fucked up. Transvestite Lady Gaga masturbating on a dead horse head does not, in fact, give me wood. I'm putting that out there.
Video.
Oh my God. So, the definition of putrid listed on here: decomposed and foul-smelling rotten, proceeding from, relating to, or exhibiting putrefaction, morally rotten, corrupt, and all the while scarlet thoughts, putrid fantasies, and no love, and extremely objectionable and vile. Well, it meets the definition of spades of that.
I think it covers all those points.
Yeah, next week for this episode, I'm not fucking watching this. Okay. Congratulations, Alan.
I'll be
You're up
handing
next.
the iPad to Alan next week.
Oh, God.
Next week I'll be breaking Paul's iPad.
Can you Lysol your eyes effectively? Is that
SchlockTalk AccuScrub. Ladies and gentlemen, at a theater showing Vulgar near you.
Get it for your putricobject.com watching pleasure. If you find pleasure in that, God bless you. You're a sick motherfucker.
So, that concludes our podcast.
Where the fuck did you find this, Paul?
Mission Mangina. The fate of the world rests in her vagina. Her untimely death might be the end of us all. Now it's up to one man to make the ultimate sacrifice.
Will it grow back?
You don't have to worry about that, son. We'll be keeping your ding-dong on ice. And if you make it through this, we might even add a few inches before we sew it back on.
When you lose your balls, you risk it all.
I know her vagina like the back of my hand. This wart is her G-spot.
You're doing this country proud. It takes big balls to become a woman.
Being a woman has made me a better man.
Was it good for you, Virginia? Or should I say, Ted?
How did you find out?
Your flat, hairy chest was a dead giveaway. There's no escaping Ted. I can smell your twat from here. My pussy puppies will sniff you out.
Snatch me if you can.
Mission Mangina. Do you have the balls to watch it?
I want to remind everybody to like us on Facebook at facebook.com/SchlockTalk and go to our website, schlocktalk.com, and also you can follow us on Twitter at Talking Schlock. Good night.
Night.